I am alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Well, it's been, we're Wednesday. When did I last go live? Sunday? Anyways, just wanted to pop on really quick tonight. This evening, this fine Wednesday. I'm exhausted. It's been a busy week at the office, and it's just getting busier, of course, because I'm getting ready to take off on a little vacay. But that always seems to be the way. Anyways, what's happened this week? I've done a fair bit of printing this week. I did, let me move that out of the way here for just a second. Don't fall. There we go. I love this battery holder so much that I ran on the Creator 3 that I decided to print some more. I got a little bit of stringing in there. You can see I got to clean up with the heater, but that's no problem. But I decided to run, oh man, that's awful. That's actually purple. This must be the lighting down here. Let's see. Yeah, it's the fluorescent lighting down here. This is actually, that's not doing any better. Anyways, that's actually a purple filament. Whoops. Yeah, that's a purple filament. That's a blue filament. They both look blue. It's funny that purple's not showing up on there. It's got to be these LED lights that are, wow, that looks so blue in the camera. Yeah, no, it's obviously those LED lights that are doing that. Anyways, I've printed 2 blue, 2 purple. I'm going to do more. I really quite like these battery holders. So I don't know what's causing the stringing, to be honest with you, but it's just a minor inconvenience. Inside there was a lot of stringing. I pulled it off. It's almost like cotton candy consistency. So I'm not sure what's causing that, but I shall work on that as I learn more and more. I printed, I think I mentioned last broadcast that I had put one of my Chimeras on my Ender 5 at the office, and I did these prints. See, the orange shows up orange. These are basically corner supports for the IKEA lac table that I built for my MK3. And these were run on the Ender 5 that I have at my office. Other than the odd little bloop that I've picked off, there's zero cleanup on this thing. And I mean, look at the quality. I got to get the light here, but incredible print. I mean, that is a beautiful, beautiful print. No matter how you look at it, I mean, incredible. So yeah, so I'm quite happy with how well that Ender 5 is working with that Chimera put on it. So this was run. The funny thing is, I've tried a couple different build plates on the Ender 5, and the best luck I'm having, I'll keep trying, but the best luck I'm having so far, which is what this one was done on, is I've thrown the textured sheet from the Prusa on the Ender 5, and it works beautiful. I mean, it's the best sheet that I've had on that Ender 5, so I may just end up ordering a couple more of those and just print on that. I mean, why break it if it ain't fixed? No, why fix it if it ain't broke? That's what I meant to say. So, yeah, so that was that print. And then for my first time ever, I had ordered in some of this Prusament, focus there, camera, Prusament ASA. This stuff is the Galaxy Black 1.75. It's basically apparently the ABS equivalent. It's Prusa's ABS equivalent. It runs from 250 to 270 as a nozzle temperature and 100 to 120 as a bed temperature. So I've never run this that hot before on nozzle or bed, so I was a little hesitant. And I was really surprised because in the Prusa slicer, when I did it, it had the fan at 0 through the whole run, and I thought that's interesting. But anyways, what I ended up running, this was on the Flash Forge, and so what I needed to print was an actual part cooling fan for my Prusa, because the one that I had on there that I had printed out of PETG started to melt on the bottom part here. And the nozzle falls right in the middle, but it started to melt. So I thought, well, I'll print something at a much higher temperature. So I printed this out of that Prusament ASA, and my goodness, no fan, period. And this is how it came off the bed. Incredibly clean. You may look at that and say, oh, is that a broken part there? But no, that portion right over here that looks like it's broken is not. That's just the way it's made to go on that particular mount. But my, wow, what a beautiful print for my first ASA print. I was so happy. They even mentioned about some stringing inside here that could happen that you just got to pull out if you wanted to, and that didn't occur. I mean, that is a great print from the Prusament ASA. So anyways, I'm going to put that on my Prusa, and hopefully that's going to stop the melting. Yeah, on the other one, it was the Prusa Orange. I'll show you when I take it off. Maybe I'll even do a live stream of me changing it. But yeah, it was melting these corners here. They were drooping. So I ended up having to stop, and it was when I was running PET-G, but if I ran PLA, it was fine. So I ended up lowering the temperature on the PET-G, and it finished the job I had, and then running PLA is fine, but I thought I'd run one out of the ASA, and I guess as long as I don't run ASA on it, but I can try. We'll see what happens. But yeah, quite happy with that. So now to the toys. So I was watching Chris's broadcast stream today. Chris, who is the Neries. He does his Wednesday broadcasts every week, and he mentioned, and I was quite impressed with this tool that he uses. It's the Stanley FatMax Pocket Chisel. It's a foldable chisel, so it was only $24.95, $25 here in Canuckland, which is what, about $10 down there. So you guys have it so easy. Anyways, I thought I'd buy that because I find sometimes on this print bed for the Creator, there's the skirt that ran for the for this fan shroud I just ran. So that was the skirt for that. I find this is an incredible build plate. It everything from PLA right up to this ASA sticks wonderful and releases, because of course this is a flexible. This is their flexible build plate, so it releases great. But I find that getting these skirts off is not the easiest. So when I saw Chris work with his FatMax chisel today, let me get my knife out here. I thought this is ideal for me, so I decided to buy one, and I am definitely heeding his warning about how sharp this is. I can see how sharp this is, and I can see how heavy this is. So let's safely unpackage this thing without cutting myself. I mean, if they package it a little safer, I wouldn't be so... Imagine cutting yourself opening the package. No. Let's just, there we go. There it is. Put that package. So I like this, as he said, so, because the handles fold up, boom. And then there's no chance of cutting yourself with this like this. So let's give this a shot. Let's just have a peek here. Oh yeah, that is, I could probably shave with that. I'm not going to try, but I probably could. So let's see what this does as far as, whoops, getting this off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All over my clothes. Let's just finish cleaning this off. Yeah. I'm putting zero pressure on, maybe the weight of the chisel, and it's not disturbing the surface of the build plate whatsoever. Yeah, a couple last. It's probably as good as it's going to get. Yeah, that did a great job. Yeah, it didn't disturb the surface of the build plate at all. There's still, that stuff is basically, I think, permanent stain on it, but didn't affect the build surface at all. That's awesome. Thank you for that tip, Chris. That's fabulous. Just another nice little tool to add to my collection. There we go. Is that magnetic on the bottom? No, it's not. Well, that would be cool if those were magnets that I could just clip it up to a shelf. But then again, if it fell, I'd be in trouble. I like that. I really like that. That was $25 well spent. Good. Okay. That's that. The other cool thing I learned about these build plates last night is I was looking at what if I want to buy a new build plate. Well, I imagine I could get the metallic part of the build plate, but apparently the top is a sticker. I'm not going to try and peel it off right now because I don't need to, but I can buy this whole sticker, and it's something like $9 Canadian here to buy a replacement sticker for the top of this, and that's great. Because this will, unlike some of the other printers, this surface is good for, so far as I know, any filament under the sun. I want to try nylon one day on this printer. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, excellent. There's one problem solved. And then the other thing I got, nobody watching yet. Well, maybe somebody will pick something up out of this from watching the replay. My Walmart shipment came in today. I was talking to Dan, on my last broadcast, and I want to get people to join my broadcast, but I couldn't. I didn't have a microphone, a proper microphone or headphones, and I didn't want to get any feedback loops happening. Excuse me there. So I placed an order for Walmart. I think it was Sunday. It was Sunday, wasn't it, Dan? I know you're not on here, but I'm positive it was Sunday. Anyways, I got the UPS guy came to my door today with a Walmart box, and I can only assume I know what's in the box. Let's get rid of the bubble wrap and responsibly recycle this stuff. I think this is all eco-friendly air cushions now. Yeah, I hated the stuff that was just the plastic. Being a diver, I'm conscious about plastic ending up in oceans and landfills, so this stuff can go in my biodegradable, eco-friendly, reduce, no, so just recycle, not biodegradable, but I can throw that in my recycle. Let's see. So, okay. I got one piece in. Okay. Oh, they shipped one piece. Okay, well, darn. Let's get rid of that. I was hoping I was going to be able to, if anybody shows up, I was hoping I was going to be able to open the broadcast up, but obviously not. So what I got was the Yeti mic I ordered. It's the Yeti, whatever you want to call it, the Yeti USB microphone. Oh, I didn't even, what's the brand on that? It's the same one that I have down at my office. Great microphone, but Walmart was $30 less than getting it at Best Buy, the exact same thing. So it's a beautiful microphone. It'll sound a lot better than what I'm talking on right now, which is the microphone on my Logitech camera, C922 Pro or something. So yeah, let's slice this little guy open here. Okay. Oh. Come on, Yeti. There we go. I don't like butchering my boxes when I open them. I like to try and keep the box in shape in case, for whatever reason, I have to return something. And then I keep the box usually for a month or something to make sure, and then I'll end up tossing the box. Other than when I buy iPhones or any Apple product, I keep the boxes when I buy an Apple product because for some reason, when you sell a used iPhone or a used iPad or a used MacBook or whatever, which I've done several of in the past, people want the box. Seems to be a selling feature that, hey, I've got the original box and original packaging. So come on, there we go. Let's slice this guy. And here we go. That's the USB cable. Oh, I need to get a USB hub. I've only got 2 USB ports on this laptop. It's a HP. It's my new HP laptop that I got for 3D printing and for live streaming, and it's only got 2 USB ports. One of the ports is taken up by the for my cordless. Is that an Amazon Basics? Yeah, my cordless mouse. And the other USB port is being taken up by my camera. This thing. So, yeah, can't even plug the mic in if I wanted to right now. So I need to get on Amazon tonight and order a USB hub. Something I can get for next day delivery, because I'm positive the headphones I ordered that I wanted to go with this microphone, I'm pretty sure they're going to come in tomorrow. So this is called the Yeti Blue, the Blue Yeti Professional Multi-Pattern USB mic. From what I've heard on my broadcasts at my office, it's excellent sound. I don't need to read the instructions because I know how to use it. Let's pull the beast out of the box. There we go. Put the plastic back in. Unwrap this. Plastic back in. Oh, it looks like it's got a major. I never noticed that on my other one. It's got a huge tripod mount on the bottom or something. I don't know what you've done on that. Anyways, bear with me. As I say, I like to save all my packaging on an expensive item just in case. Oops, there I go. I just ripped the box. I hate doing that, but that's all right. It's not the end of the world. Okay, that goes in the shelf to save. And here is the, tighten these up. Whoops. There's the big beast. I like that. It's heavy, got a really nice heavy base. I don't know what that mount on the bottom right there. That's like a, gosh, that's at least a 1/2 inch, if not a 5/8 inch thread. That must be for a professional tripod or something, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, very nice microphone. It has on the back, there's a switch that basically it tells you where you want the sound to come from. So this microphone, you can either talk straight into the front, or you can tell it to pick up sound from all around, or you can tell it to pick up sound from right and left if you're doing any stereo music recording or something. So pretty cool. Yeah, a little disappointed that my headphones didn't come in as well, but as I said, I'd be more disappointed if they did, and I could expect that I could invite somebody onto my broadcast because I don't have the extra USB port. I need to get a USB hub. So I saw somebody popped on there and then left. I know it's pretty boring, but oh well. So there we go. So we have the big Yeti mic, which is great. Can't wait to get this thing working. Actually, hold on. Yeah, you know what? Let me try something here. I'm going to unplug mouse. And I just stopped my camera there when I unplugged the USB for the mouse. There we go. Start the camera up again. Unplug the mouse because I don't use the trackpad. I just hate using trackpads. So let me just go ahead and plug this in. That damn. Let's get back to the proper camera. That damn camera USB plug on that camera is just finicky. I'm going to do something. The camera's going to go off for a minute, but then I'm going to put it back on. Just stay tuned for 3 seconds. Okay, maybe that was 5 seconds, but I'm going to change back to the proper camera. There we go. I just changed USB ports so that when I plug the mic in, I don't necessarily interfere with the camera. There we go. Maybe it's the port itself, I doubt, but yeah. Let's see what happens if I change microphones here. Plug this into the bottom. So on the one side is the USB power. There we go, USB port. Oops, there you go. You should be hearing me. Turn the gain up a little, and I have to read, and I forget which one. I believe I one, so that the sound is coming in. I wish there was somebody on here now so I could see if you can hear me, but I can always hop over to YouTube and double check that. Let's see. Let's open this and see what's happening. There's going to be a feedback loop here, but it is what it is. Yeah, I was silent there for a bit, but I think it's working now. I have to let me just wait and see here. Let's see. Huh. No sound? Hello, testing. It shows that it's working, so I think it's working. If anybody's on there, let me know if you can hear me at all. As I say, this is I just hooked the mic up. I don't know if it's actually working because I don't have headphones. Yeah. Anyways, okay, there we go. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, you do hear me. Oh, hey Dan, thank you. I just picked up my I got my Yeti microphone I ordered on Sunday, I believe, when you were on. And so I just hooked the microphone up, but I realized I didn't get the headphones, and which is okay because I realized I need to get a USB hub. So I can't quite invite anybody to the stream yet because I'll get that feedback loop. But yeah. So yeah, once the headphones come in, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm going to go on to Amazon tonight and find a USB hub so I can plug in more USB devices than just 2. Right now I've sacrificed my wireless mouse in order to plug this microphone in, but I think it sounds a whole lot better than the camera microphone, the Logitech. So I've been out just showing off a few things today. I did my first, I mentioned earlier, I bought some Prusament ASA, which is equivalent to a ABS. So I ran my first ASA job on the Flash Forge, and it's actually a part cooling nozzle, a part cooling fan shroud for my Prusa. And man, I never expected that kind of quality out of that kind of filament, it came off just that clean. Zero fan running it, and it ran at 285 degrees with a 110 degree bed, and man, it's impressive. Anyways, I mean, yeah, that's a lot to do with that printer as well, but man, that's my first time running it, and it is strong. I mean, I'm extremely strong, so I'm quite happy with that, and I'm happy with this filament. So yeah, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna maybe what I'll do on the weekend, we'll see how things go. Maybe I'll do a live stream when I switch this over. It's kind of funny. It'll be funny to see how the ends here melted on the one that I have on there now. I printed it out of PETG, but for some reason it was melting when I was running at 240 degrees with PETG. So we'll see. But then I showed earlier too, I bought this really cool. This was Neri showed this on a stream today. His Fat Max chisel. I loved what it did for him and how it worked. So I went out and bought one of these, 25 bucks Canadian, which is what, about $2 your money. So with our exchange rate, our dollar sucks. But this worked great. I've been having trouble getting the skirt off of the build plate on this thing, especially with the ASA I just ran, and this just incredible. So this is a great addition to the collection. You had a part that took 22 hours, was in the Atomic CF PETG, broke due to your stupid hands. I've had that happen before too. That's frustrating though, man. 22 hours. Oh, I think that's hey Justin, how you doing? Just on a little bit tonight. I bought some new toys. I bought a new microphone, just a little one. It's a big Yeti, and I didn't get the headphones I was expecting to get, so I can't invite anybody on a live broadcast yet, but hopefully tomorrow or the weekend for sure. Yeah, it was the board case for the Hypercube. That sucks when that happens. When I did my first long 3.5 day print fail due to the height of the yeah, I bought a few when I decided I wanted to do some streaming. My first camera was borrowed. It was a Logitech because you couldn't get them. I mean, I was willing to spend up to. I mean, you can get cameras cheap. The Logitechs cost anywhere from, I don't know what, $99 to $250, whatever, and even higher. I was willing to spend whatever to get a camera to do some streaming, and I couldn't find one for the life of me. Obviously, because of the people self-isolating, the cameras, people wanted them to keep in touch or to communicate or to do the home office thing with the office, to do their whatever that whatever that thing's called where they conference. Anyways, but yeah, I couldn't get a camera for the life of me, so I ordered. I borrowed one from a really good friend who runs the First Layer YouTube channel, and which was great. And then I ended up buying 3 more. This was my third one I bought. One was a cheap one, like a $40 off Amazon, and it works pretty good. But the Logitechs are obviously much better. And then 2 more Logitechs. So, and then I just negotiated with my friend that I could probably buy his other camera. So yeah. So 4 cameras and then 2 of these Yeti mics. Fortunately, I found this mic. I had bought this off Best Buy initially, the one that I have down at my office, $180. This one was $150 from Walmart, so $30 less. So I would never expected Walmart to sell something like this in the first place, let alone for $30 less than the big box. Well, they are a big box store, but $30 less than Best Buy. So that's where I'm going to start looking for stuff first, I suppose, is Walmart. They surprise me with the stuff that they do sell online. So, yeah. Oh, and I had earlier in the broadcast, I had also mentioned that on Sunday I mentioned that I put my Hemera, one of my Hemeras, on my under 5, and I just started running some jobs on that thing. And boy, I ran this. It's a corner brace cube, or a corner brace for the IKEA lack table that I built for my Prusa, and printed it on the under 5, and I'm extremely happy with the quality of this is just right off of it, no cleanup, nothing. Super happy with how this thing turned out, so that's great. So I got to start using that Ender 5 a bit more. The only thing is it only seems to work really well as far as sticking that first layer when I use the textured sheet from Prusa. So probably end up buying a couple more of those sheets just so I have them for the Ender 5. Yeah. So otherwise, nothing exciting. This is that I showed you this print that came off of the Flash Forge on Sunday, and this is the finished. This is another one. I actually ran this. This one was run on my Creality CR10S Pro, which is down at my office. Beautiful print right off. That CR10S Pro is running incredible for me. Anyways, this is the finished print. So basically, there's a card inside, comes out, and this was a print in place piece. So this printed like this on the print bed, and then this part turns. You can see the threads there. That threads into the grooves inside this, and it's just basically a compression box. You put that in, turn it down, and then it screws in as deep as you want it to go, right down to the bottom. And the idea is that you can stick decks of cards. It fits a deck of cards perfectly. So instead of sticking your cards back in the box all the time, and if they get curled from moisture, whatever, put them in here, put some pressure on them, and they stay flat. So I did this one, and then I also did a smaller one, 2 different sizes. Looks like it's about half the size. Yeah, I did that on my CR10S Pro as well. Again, no cleanup. Yeah, I've been very fortunate recently that I'm getting clean prints off these printers, and I have to say this, and I know people have disagreed with me before, but a lot of it, 80% of the battle is to do with getting decent filament. I had a bunch of cheaper filaments I'd bought online downtown for my office, and I'd run them, and I'd have issues with first layer adhesion. I'd have issues with just all kinds of retraction issues, you name it. So I put on a Prusa filament, or I put on a filament that I get from filaments.ca. I have Kodak filament, which is really good, and it prints beautiful. So I ended up, I threw some filament out that I was just disgusted with, I know. But I threw it out, and then some of them I'm keeping because it works fine for small, thin jobs or small, tiny things. It'll work fine, but if I don't trust it to do a multi-hour print. So when it comes to multi-hour prints, I've learned that I don't want to mess with the filament. So that's my tip: is buy good filament when you're doing important long prints. So yeah, these this filament, I'm not sure about it. This is the filament that came with the printer. I decided to print a few more of these battery holders. This stuff is extremely stringy when it comes off. It's almost like a cotton candy, or a candy floss string. It'll all come off with the heat gun, no problem. I know that, but it's just odd that it strings so badly. And then I ran these as well in purple. It looks blue. Believe me, it's the lighting in here. This is purple as purple can be. Obviously, either the camera or my lighting cannot pick up the purple. Because I have fluorescent lighting. Well, it's all LED lighting down here, so it's just weird that you can't see that purple on the screen. It looks bluer than blue. Anyways, yeah. So that's my exciting evening. Now I'm just I have this printer sitting here, and I am just deciding what I want to print on it next. I finished off that paying job at my office. It turned out to be about 180 of those little these things. It turned out to be about 180 of these things, which I keep one on a retractor on my belt for opening doors, pushing buttons. You can carry bags. Pretty handy device. A customer, I did some, and you can kind of see that the name is, our company name is in there. Anyways, I did some for a customer. They were in black recycled filament. He wanted them in, and yeah, I finished. One roll did me about 180 pieces. So finished that. Charge him. He supplied the filament. I charged him 50 cents a piece to print them, and that was just all done on my Anycubic i3 Mega S. And yeah, so 50 cents a piece. So I'm what? I'll make $100 off that, because I'm going to charge them for the design of the piece as well. But hey, that buys a couple rolls of filaments, and it's a start. Hey, Justin, the only thing I found with stringing is moisture. Oh, okay. Dry all my filament regardless of the type and my. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to look into that. The filament itself, I did test it. It didn't seem, from what I understand, and I don't know everything by any stretch of the imagination yet, but from what I understand, if the filament snaps easy, it means it's got a lot of moisture in it. That's kind of reversed to me, because I would think if it was dried out, it would snap easier. But I was told if it snaps easy, it's got too much moisture in it. I tested that filament, and it bent actually. It didn't snap at all. So I thought that was fine. But and I am in a basement here. It's not very, in the summertime, it's pretty dry down here. It's cold, but it's not damp. In the wintertime, yes, we get humidity. But yeah, I try and keep all my filaments covered up. I mean, I haven't taken the filament out of this thing, but it's enclosed, and it's got covers on the outside, so that it's not being exposed to the outside air. So, but I could be wrong. But yeah, my logic tells me that if something is dried out, it's going to be more brittle. I don't know, but I do have a commercial grade dehydrator down at my office. I bought it at Cabela's up here. I think you guys have Cabela's down there, and so I bought a commercial grade. It's an 8-liter. Anyways, it's big, for drying filament out and for drying the decadent, whatever you want to call them, those packs out, because apparently you can dry those out and reuse them. So I have that to dry some filament out. But the ironic thing with that is that after drying the filament, and I'm using the temperatures and times recommended that I found online, pull it out, and it seems to still be brittle and break, but it prints fine. So who knows in the world of filaments? So, and then again, I think, I don't know if I've got to check, but I don't know if this ASA filament is more susceptible to moisture. I know nylon is. I've heard nylon pretty much sucks in moisture as you print. So, Dr. Jekyll, good evening. How are you? We're just on here. I'm on here entertaining myself with some of the stuff that I've been doing on my new Flash Forge and some of the new toys I'm bringing. So, I'm new streamer in the 3D print world, and Dan the man has really encouraged me a lot and really helped me get over some shyness and hesitation to just go live and just talk. So I went from, it's really cool, Dan. I went from, when I first started, 4 followers, and I think I've got 25 or 26 subscribers now. So, hey, I hit that 25 mark. Next goal, 50. So I'll get the word out there, and I'm going to send that out to some family and friends and get some people to subscribe, get those numbers up. So, yeah. Anyways, as I mentioned earlier, you're getting, you are, Dan, and I appreciate that, man. People are looking at where you're going, and and I think that's what it's all about. It's about community and networking, right? I mean, we all have something in common. We probably all have more than one thing in common if we dig down deep enough. But yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great community. I've yet to find well, I'm not going to say that's not true, but I was going to say I yet to find any real assholes on in this community. But I mean, there's you get them, right? But it happens. So, oh yeah, absolutely. I was involved in when I first got into producing signs at my business, signs and decals and stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I bought the equipment, invested in some major equipment, and so I joined a forum. This is back when the forums were popular with it for signs, and got to know a lot of people through the forum. I learned a ton, and then we ended up having a meet and greet in Reading, Pennsylvania. And gosh, there had to be 40 or 50 people show up for a weekend long meet and greet party, whatever you want to call it. It was phenomenal. So, asshole here, I doubt it. It's the ones who admit they are that aren't. So I am sometimes too. So yeah, I can be, especially if I'm tired and hungry. Although isn't that the truth for everybody? So yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, when you get to know people, I know a lot of you folks meet up at the maker fairs as well. So I have yet to see one happen in Canada. Although apparently they have happened in Toronto, but that's the opposite end of the country for me. So hopefully I'm going to get down to one of the Western maker fairs one of these years and meet some of the YouTube celebrities that attend these things. It'd be kind of cool to put an actual face-to-face meeting with some of these guys. So yeah, but yeah, as I was saying earlier, my biggest thing right now is what do I print next on this guy? I want to try a 2-color print, but I got to figure out the software and everything. And the first day I got this, I had asked myself, and I had asked around, is the slicing software proprietary? No, it's not. This just runs standard G code. As a matter of fact, Simplify 3D has a profile for this printer in it, and it has a very good. You basically tell it. I forget what it was. Actually, what am I doing? I can actually show you guys here. But in Simplify 3D, let me do this fancy magic shit that I did the other night. Let's see. Share the screen, share a Chrome tab. No, I want to share an application window, Simplify 3D. Let's see if this works. There you go. There's my Simplify 3D window. So it's got this cool feature. Oh man, I don't have my mouse. I'm on the trackpad. This is going to kill me. Oh, I hate using the trackpad. Anyways, that's the part I just printed in Prusament ASA. So yeah, this has the FlashForge Creator 3 in it. I can configure right or left extruder or both. But it's got this really cool feature I found called under the tools, Dual Extrusion Wizard. You need to have at least 2 models. Oh, right. I need to have 2 models. No, hang on a minute. Dual Extrusion Wizard. I need to have at least 2 models. Okay, well, let's just copy that. So here I have my 2 models just to appease the. How do I move that over? Oh, I hate not having my mouse hooked up. Anyways, this is a USB. This is why I need to get a USB hub, because I want to. Anyways, so now that I have 2 models on there, Dual Extrusion Wizard. So it'll basically. I can tell it what filament it is here. I can tell, so this is the same part on both. Let's see, where did I see it? I can tell which extruder I want to print what. But anyways, so I can basically print one with the right extruder, one with the left extruder, and it prints twice as fast, is what I'm trying to say here. So if I click OK on this, then basically it's splitting the model up into 2 different processes. So then if I have, so I can basically go on, and if I have different filaments, if I have, say, ASA on one side and PETG on the other side, I can tell different temperatures for my print heads and so forth and so on. And then it also gives me the ability up here to create a group for these. But anyways, there's also a way where I can tell it to take the one model and either mirror it or duplicate print it or whatever. I've got to figure out the mirroring part of it yet. Man, oh, there's how you zoom in. Okay. Sorry, it's this trackpad drives me bonkers. Yeah, so. And then when I tell it it's dual, it just leaves a single model on the table. So now if I end up moving this model around, it's just the one that I'm going to be playing with instead of the two. But you also see it's split my y-axis right down the middle. So it's going to, whatever I have on this side, if I had 2 or 3, let's see, can I duplicate this now? Yeah. So if I had those, so there we go. So there's what's happening. It's going to print. And then let's center and arrange those. Anyways, you can only fit so many up, but the beauty of it is if I had to print 10 of those, it's going to print 5 on one head, 5 on the other. So it's printing basically the time it takes to print 5 is how long it's going to take to print 10 of them with the dual extruder. So it's pretty cool. I've got to play around with the Simplify 3D ability with the dual heads more, because apparently I can do dissolvable supports and tell it which head it's printing out of as well. So I'm pretty new to all that. So, but yeah, it's fun to play with. The screen's gone. Huh. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen anyways. But yeah, so pretty cool. Organize a meetup independent of the RepRap festival or something that coincides with one. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd definitely be down for that. Obviously, when travel restrictions are lifted down the road and it becomes more safe and easier to travel, that you know what, that just gives more time to organize things. So I think it'd be awesome to meet everybody and just discuss things and just have fun, hang out. So it's a small world, and you know what? I don't think you can ever make too many friends. So I'm going to order the Ender 5 in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, you'll like the Ender 5. It's a great printer. So this printer is the FlashForge Creator 3. I just got this about a week ago, a little over a week ago. I bit the bullet on a real expensive printer just because it's called a dual independent extruder, whatever. So it's got 2 print heads, 2 extruders, so it can run 2 filaments independently. I suppose the only limitation on that is you're going to have to run the heat bed the same temperature for both. But I imagine you can get away with running PLA on a 100-degree heat bed. I haven't tried it, so. IDEX, thank you. Independent dual extruder. Thank you. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I knew that name. So, yeah. The Finder V1 got it free, just upgraded it and been printing fine. Awesome. I haven't heard of the Finder, but cool. Another FlashForge builder. Yeah, I did a lot of research. I set myself a budget of $4,000 Canadian. The funny thing is, and I did a lot of research before I decided what to buy in that price category, and this just seemed to, there was great reviews on this thing. Of course, there's negative reviews on everything you're going to buy, but I didn't want to spend a lot, like much more than that, and I wanted something that had good reviews, something that would have good customer support. I checked the availability of parts, availability of service, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I just decided on this one, and this is their up. They had an earlier version of the Creator 3, which was different. The first Creator 3 had a build plate. On the back of the build plate, it had magnets or something that fit into a slot on the build plate in the on the hot plate in the printer. And for whatever reason, they changed that. So this is they changed that to a new flexible build plate right now. Also, they added 2 more fans to the back for venting, I suppose. When I ran that ASA, which Prusa suggests that you have it well ventilated. I didn't smell a thing down here. So the HEPA filters and so forth in this thing obviously did their job. Oh, you're in Vancouver. Cool. I'm in Calgary. I'm heading to Vancouver next week. I'm driving to Burnaby. I think it's Burnaby is an outskirt of Vancouver. So, yeah. I'm hoping my car is going to be safe. No, it'll be fine. There's a couple isolated incidents with Alberta plates in BC, but we're driving just because we're going out there, staying at a hotel in Burnaby, and because we want a pool, number one, and the pool's open in this place, and we just want to get away. It's a beautiful drive. I've done it before. I'm a scuba diver. I'm a scuba diver instructor, actually. And I've been out to BC a lot for diving. It's the best cold water diving in the world. If there's any divers out there and you ever want some really good cold water diving, go to British Columbia. Go to the island. Go to Vancouver Island. There's wrecks, world-class wrecks out there. Anyways, amazing scuba diving in British Columbia. Cold water diving, of course, but if you have the right equipment and everything, do it. I can't wait to get out there to dive again. But anyways, beautiful drive, especially in the summer. So we're going to split it over 2 days because we have a minor with us. And yeah, so I'm excited to get out there and just get away. I've been super busy at the office, printing a lot of signage to do with buildings reopening and everything. We do printing of signs, decals, posters, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I'm stupid busy on, so... Yeah, well, I'll keep that in mind, Off Axis. Yeah, thanks. I will. We do have a few things and people we know out there that we're looking to see. My fiance has a really good friend out there. So, a foot ulcer. I've never heard of a foot ulcer. Interesting. What about showering or bathing? Does that affect that at all as well? I've never heard of that, but yeah, there's a lot of things. It's a shame because I know a lot of people that want to try scuba diving, but there's, for certain reasons, one of my friends has COPD, so he really can't dive, and I know other people that have issues with their ears. One of the key things, obviously, with scuba diving is you have to be able to equalize. And I've done so many Discover Scubas in the pool. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. Oh, that's too bad. Wow. Although I wonder, is it because of the water touching your foot? Interesting. Or is it because of the pressure? Because when you cold water scuba dive, well, at least me, because I'm a wimp, I wear a dry suit. So the only thing that gets wet is my face. So yeah, I have a custom fit dry suit. That's actually hanging. Actually, it's right. Let's see. Watch me unplug this camera again. If the camera dies, bear with me. I'll plug it right back in because I think my USB cable is being a dink. Oh, over in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Oh, yeah, it's way in the corner. It's got a black with a little white pattern and a zipper going up. And that's my dry suit. It's called the brand is called DUI. So that's my custom dry suit. But nothing gets wet. Well, I shouldn't say that. Dry suits can flood if you have a broken neck seal or if you have a broken wrist seal. But I've only had one dry suit flood in over about 400 dives, so not a big deal. But yeah, it's great. What I was saying earlier is that I've taken a lot of students on Discover Scuba Diving, and which is in our pool. Well, at the shop we used to, and the shop had to shut down because of the pandemic. After 21 years in business, that's a whole other story. That was sad. But yeah, it's disappointing when somebody's excited about learning scuba diving, but they can't equalize their ears in the pool because they have ear issues, and you just can't. So it's not worth damaging your body to do something, no matter how much you love it. So. Yeah, looking forward to doing that. But I can do a whole other stream on scuba diving adventures and things I've seen and things I've found and things I've done. But yeah, save that for another time. Yeah, I'm what to print on this printer next. It's funny that I have this printer sitting here and I'm just debating what to print on it. The idea is that eventually when my customers start coming back in and I market it more, I'm going to get more business for sure on it, because I've generated a lot of interest just by word of mouth with my customers. So he went from 25 MPS connection to 1 gig today. New modem, pretty happy. Oh, wow, I imagine. Wow, that's a huge jump. So that must be like day and night. I tell people when you go that fast from one speed to another, you're going to get whiplash. So cool. I don't know what speed I'm on here. I'm with a company up here called TELUS, and we are on what's called their optic or fiber optic network. So I think the fiber optics, I think we're pretty fast speed. I've not had any problems streaming Amazon Prime or streaming Netflix or anything like that. We never have glitches. So I think we're pretty much up there in the speed as well. The difference is we pay. You're with Shaw, just got the fiber thing. Yeah, Shaw's into fiber as well as TELUS, and I used to be with Shaw. The only reason I went with TELUS is my cell phone is with TELUS. When we moved into this house, we're renting this house. When we moved into this house, I brought my Shaw with me, but then TELUS fiber was just new in this neighborhood, and they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I have my home security, my alarm system at home, my cell phone, my internet, and my TV, all with TELUS. And I've got, well, actually, my cell phone is through my business, but because I have my cell phone, I get $10, and my security, I get $10 a month off of my internet. Anyways, I'm paying, gosh, what, $140, $150 a month for all those services. So, no, sorry, $180, which isn't bad, but I think you folks down in the U.S. Get way better. You get way better cell phone data rates than we do, and I wouldn't be surprised you get better television and internet rates than we do as well. All I know is up here we pay way too much for our cell phones, and we have they've just lifted caps on data, limits on data. I have 10 gigs of data with my phone, and they say it's unlimited. But what happens is if you hit your 10 gig, if I hit my 10 gig limit, which I haven't yet, but if I do, it doesn't, I still get data, but it slows it down to 3G, whatever it is. I'm not even sure what I'm on right now, but it slows it down to a slower speed. So that hasn't happened to me yet. So we'll see what happens. But I don't do a lot of, I don't use a lot of data when I'm away from the home, and at the office, I have Wi-Fi. There's a lot of hotspots in places I go. Possibly, what could possibly affect it, it's going to be interesting to see, is I just signed up through my car insurance company, which is Allstate, which I believe they have Allstate down in the U.S. I was offered, where is it? I had to download the app. Okay, it's Allstate. It's their app called DriveWise. There we go. I just downloaded this today. Whoops. Oh, funky focus camera. Anyways, their app's called DriveWise. Apparently, just for signing up, I have to use it within the first 30 days at least once, they say, which I don't care. So just for signing up for this, I save 10% off my insurance right off the top. Which is great. I don't pay a ton for insurance, but I do drive back and forth. I pay about $100 a month for insurance, something like that. But that's because I'm driving downtown and back and forth over 20 kilometers every day. 20 kilometers. Now you guys can figure that out. I can't convert to miles too fast in my head. Anyways, so basically what I do is I activate this on my phone. So this is going to use some data, but I can't imagine using much, but I'll keep an eye on it. And what they do is they're looking for, the three things they're looking for is that, number one, I don't exceed 125 kilometers per hour, which is about 80 miles an hour. Anyways, so that I don't exceed 125 kilometers an hour, which I never do. On the highway, maybe I'll hit up to 110. Part of the 110 kilometer an hour highway north of us, I might hit 115. I don't go near 125. That's the first thing they look for. The second thing they look for, which is kind of interesting, is that whether or not I drive between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m. You would think that would be a little safer because less traffic, but I don't know. And then the third thing they look for is fast braking. And I think they said they're looking to keep the braking under 10 kilometers per second, which, yeah, you have to brake pretty hard to hit 10 kilometers a second in braking. So anyways, they, after using the app, I got to check it out, but I think it's a month or 3 months, my insurance will then go down anywhere from 0 to 30% more on top of that 10%. So theoretically, using this app and being a safe driver, which I generally am, well, I shouldn't say generally, I am a safe driver. I have a child in my car a lot of the times. So theoretically, I could save 40% on my insurance just by using this app. So some people have said to me, "Oh, aren't you worried they're tracking where you're going? Aren't you worried privacy, blah, 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 blah." I don't, I'm broadcasting live here. People can look me up on Facebook. If somebody wants to invade my privacy, steal my identity, go for it, try. I've knock on wood, I've avoided it for many years, but anyways, so no, I'm not worried about privacy. I'm not worried about anybody tracking me. I'm excited to save 40% on my insurance, which is big, because I may be getting a second car here soon. And if I can save 40% on 2 car insurance payments, hey, it's big. So I've got to get on and set that up so it works. But yeah, where I was going with that, my point is that, yeah, that's going to use some data, but I can't imagine that's going to use 10 gigs of data. So more dangerous driving equals higher rate. You know what? They said my no. Well, that's a good question, Dr. Jekyll. Because I was told on the phone from the guy who said that basically it will give me a deduction from 0% to 30%. Now I assume 0% means they're not happy with what they're seeing. But it's a great question. I mean, if they say, "Man, this guy brakes a lot and he speeds a lot," well, the thing about the speeding, what I don't get, 125, I can see why they did that, because the fastest highway we have here in Calgary or in Alberta is 110 kilometers an hour, which is about 70 miles an hour, I guess, in the States. So yeah, 110 kilometers an hour. Generally, people go 10 over, so 120. If you're going 125 or more, yeah, you're gonna get a pretty good ticket for that. It's generally 10 or less over the speed limit here, kilometers. They don't bother you. The police aren't looking for people that are doing up to 10 kilometers over. That's only like 6 miles an hour over the speed limit. But my thought is that, how do they know if I'm on the highway doing 110, 115? How do they know I'm on the highway and not in the city speeding that much? Which is why I think they're not tracking me. They know that the fastest you can go legally on our roads here is 110. So if I'm hitting 125, I'm exceeding. Whether I'm on a city street, that would just be stupid, although it's happened. Not by me, but it's happened. Whether I'm on a city street or on the highway, 125 is just too fast, period. The only time I've ever gone that speed or faster, years ago, I went down to Montana. I don't know if it's the same down there. I'm sure nobody on here is from Montana, but there used to be a time in Montana when there was a highway or certain roads there. I believe it was Montana, where there was no speed limit. So I remember I was going to to a concert down there in Washington State. Washington State. I'm trying to think which side of the country I'm on. But I was going to a concert down there, driving through Montana, and I remember on the one road I was doing about 190 kilometers an hour down a stretch. Scared the crap out of myself, just because, not that anything happened, but that's fast. I couldn't be a race car driver. I'd just be way too scared. So no, that's the fastest I've gone. So yeah, I'm excited to save some money on insurance. So and what I save on insurance on my car will probably help me pay for my tenant's insurance in my home here. So yeah, safer equals rate reduction for sure. But yeah, that's a great question. Keep an eye out for if my rates go up. Well, they shouldn't, because I'm not going to drive dangerous, but that's a question I need to ask them too, right? Say, what do you monitor? Are you GPS tracking me? If you don't like what you see, can you raise my rates? But not that I'm going to do anything stupid, but the hard braking. I mean, there's situations where you have to hard brake. Somebody runs out in front of your car. A car in front of you suddenly stops fast. It happens. It's happened to me. It's not uncommon. So, I'm sure they have to take some of that stuff into account. So, but yeah. Anyways, I keep avoiding the topic on what to print next, but I want to try and do some practical prints. There's this little, what's that called? I did these bird houses a while ago, and I don't have any here. I bought the file. It's a really cool little mesh-looking birdhouse. I'm trying to think of the name of the company, and so I also bought for $2 or $3 the STL files for this little wee race car, and you print probably 50 different pieces for this race car, including some TPU. TPU, yeah, I guess that's right. Filament for the tires, black TPU for the tires, and you put it all together, and the little steering wheel actually turns the wheels on the car, the trunk opens, the hood opens. Pretty cool. So I may print one of those next. So, but I want to do it in all different colors. So, but yeah, it's too little a job for this beast here. I want to do a big print. I want to test it on a long print too. So we'll see what I do. But I wonder if this would work good as a toothpick or no. This is the coolest. This is so cool and so sharp. Boy, did that ever clean my print bed nicely. Yeah. So what else is going on, guys? Can't wait to get my headphones in so I can actually talk to some people. Oh, USB. Thank you. I just reminded myself I want to buy a USB hub. Why don't I take you guys shopping with me? Amazon.ca. Can I share that screen, and do you see it? Last time I did this, it ended up as a blank screen. Chrome tab. This one. There we are. Oops. So let's Amazon. Let's look up USB hub. $18. USB 3 hub splitter, 4-port ultra slim data hub with individual power switch and LED. Yeah, I mean, I don't need anything super fancy, although I'd like to get one like I have in my office that sits on the desk, vertical, upright, which doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm trying to remember what that was I got. That one right there is the one I bought at the office. Free delivery by Friday, July 24th, day after tomorrow. It's not bad. Let's see what else. US vertical hub, 4-port black and white charge splitter USB extension cable, $24. Yeah, not bad. I always look at the ratings. 4.5 stars, 459 ratings. It's Prime, which is good. Free delivery. I believe this is the same as the one I have down at my office now, because I adhered it to the desk on the bottom over here, so it didn't move around. Although it's got a rubber base too, so it's not bad. Yeah, that looks like a decent one. Yeah, that's what it's got on there. It's got that thing on the bottom, so you can attach it. I could stick that on my desk right beside the laptop. Would be perfect. For USB ports should be plenty. I like that. Let's just do the buy now. There we go. Have that shipped. That is taken care of. There we go. Are you on YouTube? Yep, you're you're on my YouTube. This is your grandson's account. Well, yeah, I think you're on YouTube. I need to hope you're not saying hello, sweetie, to me. That would be a first for sure. I hardly know you. So I wonder. Let's go to I'm going to pop on over to I'll pop on over here, see what sort of new prints are hanging around here. If there's anything interesting that maybe I would jump on the opportunity. I love these miniatures that people do. They're so cool. Wonder if those are print in place. They must be. I'm not going to print something just for the sake of printing something. I want to print something that actually I could use. Corona beer bottle upcycled as a headphone. Okay, I don't think so. Something I could actually use that would make life a little better. Well, nothing too exciting. Link Tempo cam holder. What I should look for is maybe something that I can hang my headphones on when I'm not using it. So like headphone hanger. Yeah, there we go. Well, look at that. An old Prusa reel user. That's smart, actually. That's actually great. I have a lot of empty Prusa spools. But something simple. Yeah, that's not challenging enough for this printer, though. That's not challenging enough. $292 more. Oh, man. Everybody and their brother has headphone hangers. A duck headphone hanger. That's kind of cute. Yeah. I should just design my own. Although, if I printed that out of ASA, this one looks interesting. I like the simplicity of some of them. Perfect with 2 holes. I wonder how far apart those holes are. 30 millimeters apart. Let's see. Oh, where did I put that? 30 millimeters apart. How wide is the stud on the wall? It's 40 millimeters. So the 30 millimeters, that would fit on one of my studs on the basement wall here to hang my headphones right in front of my desk right here. So I could see myself I could see myself printing a couple of these. As soon as you're done, we're going live in the chat stream. If you want to join me, let me know and I'll drop a link. No rush. Okay, sounds good, Justin. Thanks. I'm gonna call it quits here pretty soon. Anyways, it's been a little over an hour and a quarter here. I don't know if I can go join you yet. I don't have headphones yet. I got the microphone, no headphones, and I'm worried about a loop feed. But I could always just mute the microphone when I'm not talking or something. We'll see. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna download this headphone holder. I like the simplicity of that, and that'll fit nicely on the stud in my basement wall here. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. Maybe what I'll do is end this broadcast, let you go live on the chat stream, and then I will get that print going, and then come and join you. So yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. So wonderful. Hopefully I have my headphones tomorrow. My USB hub will be in by Friday. So Friday night, maybe I'll do a Friday night where I can finally have some people join me. That would be awesome. So I'll even bring a second camera home and we'll try out that. It's on my computer. I'll try and figure out how to configure OBS Studio to let me use that second camera. How do I send you a link? Email, Telegram, Twitter? Just how can I? Let's see. I have earbuds. Oh, that's a good point. I have Apple wireless earbuds. You could go ahead and email it to me, Justin. I don't mind giving out my business email on here at all because my business email is way out in the public, but I'll post my business email here. And then you can send it to that email address there. And that'll get it to me. As I say, I'm not going to give my personal one out here, but that's my business email, and every weirdo and their brother has that anyway, so I'm not worried about it. So, okay, I'm going to shut this one down right now. I'm going to start that print, and then I will hop on to your stream. Wonderful. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, everybody, for joining me, and I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night, and I'll be on here more often. Perfect. Talk to everybody later. Bye. Oh, I hit that button twice.